Hi, I'm Rob White, President and owner of Dahlstrom Roll Form, and I'm here to talk about our history today. If you were in our area of Jamestown, New York, and you spoke with some local people, they would be familiar with the Dahlstrom name. It all started with our founder, Charles Dahlstrom, who opened the Dahlstrom Metallic Door Company in 1904. He had a patent for the world's first hollow metal swing door, which became a game-changing contribution to the fireproofing and reduction of safety hazards in a skyscraper. The concept of the metal door coincided with the invention of the elevator, which paved the way for construction of taller buildings. In addition, disastrous fires in New York and Chicago in the old 10 and 12-story wooden buildings created a greater demand for fireproof entrances. The new laws required all openings in these buildings be made with fireproof materials. This need brought immediate success. The Dahlstrom door saw instant popularity with builders and architects. It was a logical step for the company to apply the same metal door concept to elevator entrances and cabs, and soon this product became a major portion of Dahlstrom's work. Its biggest customers were Otis Elevator, Westinghouse, Houghton, and Warner. Because of its prime importance in modern buildings, the elevator lobby began to receive careful design attention from architects. And Dahlstrom, with its highly skilled workers and craftsmen, answered the need for both a safe and fireproof door, along with aesthetics and flair. The design and craft work of Dahlstrom popped up in many prominent buildings throughout the United States, some of which still stand today. In addition to the architectural line, specialty products evolved from the roll form moldings and shapes. These roll forms were originally developed to supply architectural trim for the metal doors, but the shapes and moldings were soon being applied by manufacturers to their various products in a standard fashion. The auto industry, in fact, took notice of Dahlstrom moldings and trim and applied them to their dashboards in early automobiles. Packard was one of the biggest Dahlstrom customers. However, because faster and more inexpensive, lighter polymeric materials started to take over dashboard components, Dahlstrom dropped out of that market because its heavier, handcrafted shapes just could not compete. But several decades later, including today, we still sell those moldings to the antique auto market. Originally, this forming was done using wooden dies and what's called a draw bench that pulled the steel through the wooden dies. In the 1920s, hardened steel became the prominent way to do roll forming and was able to form tougher materials like stainless steel. And then these shapes were soon to be used in doors, buses, cars, cabinets, railways, those kinds of things. Dies for special shapes, as well as stock dies for moldings, thousands of them, were produced in the company's own tool department to cut tooling costs. Almost any kind of shape that can be rolled or pressed can be fabricated by Dahlstrom, back then and still today. Through the years, Eastman Kodak, IBM, and Xerox were among the manufacturers in the computer and electronics industry who looked to Dahlstrom for the precision fabrication they required in their cabinets. The Super C-channel floor joist eventually became another addition to the Dahlstrom product line, which was welcomed by the building industry because of the rapidly depleting lumber resources at the time. It also doesn't hurt that steel won't warp, shrink, or rot. During the 1930s, Dahlstrom experienced financial hardship and bankruptcy. Like many businesses, the company was overextended because of the booming 1920s. When the crash came, the tremendously depressed construction and building industry caused the market loss of Dahlstrom's main products. At the height of the Great Depression, only 5 of 50 draftsmen still had a job. Desks and typewriters were sold to meet payroll. In New York City, however, construction and building were still going on, and the Rockefeller Center, then under construction, kept Dahlstrom doors open, thanks to an order for 1,000 fireproof doors. Specialized paneling and paneling assemblies were also furnished by Dahlstrom for the Radio City Music Hall at the time. Dahlstrom also got into the big housing projects in New York City. In fact, Metropolitan Life Insurance Company began investing in housing and Dahlstrom supplied the elevator doors for those projects. When World War II began, Dahlstrom joined up and converted its facilities and turned the skill of its workers to the fabrication of war products. Many items requiring close tolerances came off of the production line, including specialized aircraft parts, marine doors, and waterproof boxes. In May 1943, the company received the Army-Navy E Award, followed by Star Awards in successive years for its war efforts. After the war, Dahlstrom went back into the production of doors. But a few years later, when Otis Elevator started making its own doors and Westinghouse followed suit, Dahlstrom lost its largest market for elevator doors. Although the company continued to produce elevator entrances and cars, it became a costly product compared to the competition. In addition, the ornate and beautiful inlay work of wood graining, etching, striping, and marbling that was done by Dahlstrom skilled craftsmen lost popularity due to increased costs and labor for those types of doors. The market trended away from high craftsman-like doors and went to flat prime finishes, which became the norm. Thus, the company phased out the product line, which had made the Dahlstrom name known world over. Through the years, the company name has changed a lot also. Dahlstrom Metallic Door reflected the company's early emphasis. The Dahlstrom Manufacturing Company came next, when the door product was gradually phased out. Dahlstrom Corporation followed then, as the company began a period of acquisition. Finally, the Dahlstrom Manufacturing Company Incorporated was formed in June of 1973, when the Jamestown division of the Dahlstrom Corp was purchased by a group of local business owners and became a separate entity. This mid-70s period is when business began to take off again for Dahlstrom, according to company archives. In an internal document we found from March of 1974, it read, "In spite of supply shortages and inflation, the results of an alert management team along with good fiscal policy, plus good union relations and just plain hard work, have generated greater business than was first anticipated in such a short period of time." Several decades of flourishing has taken us to where we are today, and the name Dahlstrom Roll Form. Or does that name not sound familiar? Those who visit our website or done business with us recently on the architectural side of the business have noticed a second logo and brand, Dahlstrom Metal Mouldings. Whether you're familiar with Dahlstrom's history in components for original equipment manufacturers or OEMs, or architectural products, you can't deny this fascinating history. As Dahlstrom continues to evolve, new patents are on their way. Our ever-evolving catalog of 1,600 plus moldings is being updated. The architectural side of our business, Dahlstrom Metal Mouldings, is growing rapidly. Recent years have seen many more famous U.S. buildings use Dahlstrom architectural moldings to add a touch of class. On the OEM side, Dahlstrom has boasted uninterrupted ISO certification since 1995. In fact, we were one of the first New York State companies to earn this seal of approval. Our self-imposed demand for continuous improvement has led to many other manufacturing floor updates to further streamline customers' supply chains. While we're pretty proud of this milestone, our 115th birthday is not just a celebration of the Dahlstrom name. It's big thanks to all of the skilled workers, past and present, many of them and their kids who still are sprinkled around Jamestown, who've made this product world class. And it's also a nod to the engineers and architects who dare to dream on the new side of using architectural moldings as interior design components. Personally, I am proud to be part of a team that touches 115 years of history every day. Our growth and success has come from dedicated employees, relentless customer service, and great products. We look forward to a prosperous future for our employees and our customers.